everyone, my name's Natalie, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the basics of snowshoeing. So snowshoeing is a great outdoor activity because it's a low impact exercise, it requires minimal equipment, and it allows you to get to places that would otherwise be pretty difficult to get to in the snow. So today we're going to be talking about the basic parts of a snowshoe, how to put them on, how to get up after falling, and then how to move up and down hills and on flat terrain. So let's get started. Alright, hello everyone. We are going to talk about the basic parts of a snowshoe. So there's a lot of different types of snowshoes, but today we're going to focus on this aluminum pair here. So let's talk about the first part. So this is the frame of the snowshoe, and they can be made out of wood, plastic, or aluminum. This is the decking of the snowshoe, which creates the surface area and allows you to stay afloat in the snow. This is the binding here, and you can see the straps here, and they have these little hooks for you, and a heel strap. We'll talk about how to put those on in the next clip. And flip it around here. This is the crampon, and it acts as metal teeth that dig into the snow. So as you're walking up hills, it clamps onto that ice and allows you to keep your footing. And then right here is the pivot point. So it connects the binding that we talked about on the front to the decking. And as you can see here, as you walk, your foot will be going through this hole, and it gives you some flexibility and mobility as you walk. Alrighty, so now that we've talked about the basic parts of the snowshoe, we're going to talk about how to put them on. Okay, so we are going to be talking about how to put your snowshoes on and how to take them off. So to tell which snowshoe goes on which foot, you're going to make sure that these clamps are on the outside of that foot. So these are on the left here, so it'll go on my left foot. So the first thing I'm going to do is plant my boot inside the binding. I want the ball of my foot to be on that pivot point. So to put on the straps, you are going to put the strap on that's closest to your ankle, and you want to have your foot secured there so your foot won't be moving while you're doing the other straps. So we'll start with this one, just pop it in, you can tighten it, move on to the toe, tighten it that way, you're going to make sure you're pushing down those clamps, and then also you have your heel strap, you can finish that up last and adjust it if need be. So that's how you put on your snowshoe. To take it off, you're just going to unclip all the straps, get rid of that heel one, and then loosen up these clamps, and you're ready to go. So now we're going to talk about how to move in your snowshoes. Alrighty, welcome back. So we are going to be talking about how to move up hills and down hills in your snowshoes. So for one thing that I wanted to mention is that some people use poles while they're snowshoeing, and they're not necessary, but they certainly help if you're moving up uneven terrain, like very steep hills, or if it's really icy. But today, we won't talk about those. So, to move uphill in your snowshoes, you can use something that's called the kick step technique. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to kick the front of your snowshoe deep into the snow and drive those crampons into the ice at an angle. And those will allow you to progress up the hill, but while keeping your footing. So I'll demonstrate. All right, and there you go. Now let's talk about downhill. All right, welcome back. We are going to talk about snowshoeing downhill. So the main thing here is you want to keep your knees bent and slightly relaxed, and make sure you're not leaning your weight forward. Otherwise, you might lose your footing. So you really want to have that towards your heels. So a trick for moving down slopes that are icy, like we have right here, is to go at an angle sideways. So as I'm going down this hill, I'm going to be planting my snowshoe into the ice, making sure I'm driving those crampons in, and I'm going to be leaning back towards the slope. So my inside of my foot should be leaning towards the slope. And I will demonstrate. There you have it. So now we are going to talk about how to get up after falling. Alrighty, if you fall while snowshoeing, no worries. Just remember to take a deep breath and calm down. And if you're wearing a backpack, make sure you take that off, otherwise it's going to be hard while you're moving around. So say you are climbing up a hill and you fall on your hands and your knees, the first thing you want to do is roll onto your side. And this will allow you to press your snowshoes deep into the snow, and make sure that, especially if you're kind of angled downwards like this, that your snowshoes are pointing a little bit downhill, so you'll have that footing when you get back up. You want to make sure that this bottom snowshoe here, the lower one, is deep into the snow to give you some more traction. So once you have both of your snowshoes planted, you can use your hands to push yourself back up, making sure that your footing is going to be stable. And there you go. Okay, thank you for watching this video about the basics of snowshoeing. I hope that you found it helpful and that you feel confident to start your next snowshoeing adventure.